Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Mickle. Welcome to INN News. It's been a long winter and spring. Many of you are finally ready to usher in summer with a trip on this Memorial Day weekend. 3 million Americans will fly. 35 million will hit the road this weekend. That's up slightly over last year. AAA says the increased number of travelers this holiday is due in part to the gradually improving economy. Still, many of you are expected to spend less because gas prices are about $1 more than they were last year. Right now, we're paying on average $3.81 for regular unleaded. We do have a few ways to save on gas, beginning with filling up. Fill up on Fridays. Most places raise their prices on Saturday. Second, go clubbing. The warehouse clubs like Sam's, Costco, or BJ's, the price is at least 3% lower than the average, a savings of $2.25 on every fill up. Third, avoid stations along the highway. By finding one just a minute away from the highway exit, you can save 11% or about $7 for a fill up. As for getting the best gas mileage after filling up, don't ride the brake. That can save you $1. Slowing down from 70 to 65 saves about 27 cents. And make sure your tires are properly inflated. That will save you about 11 cents. As gas prices take a bigger chunk out of our drivers' wallets, some are looking for a smaller set of wheels. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety just put some small vehicles through their series of crash tests. Here's Amanda Decker with the top safety picks.
If recent high gas prices have you considering downsizing for something with better gas mileage, new crash tests from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety show safety improvements among some smaller models.
I think consumers can take comfort in the fact that vehicle manufacturers are doing their best to build even the small, less expensive, more fuel-efficient vehicles as safely as they can.
The insurance industry-funded safety group put 13 small vehicle models through their front, side, rollover, and rear impact tests. 6, all with electronic stability control, joined the ranks of their top safety picks, and they include the 2012 Ford Focus and Honda Civic 4-door, the Hyundai Elantra, Lexus CT200 Hybrid, the Nissan Juke, and the Toyota Prius. While small, lightweight cars will never have the same crash protection as a larger, heavier vehicle, IIHS says the new results show manufacturers are listening to the demands of consumers.
Small cars are getting safer, and if you're in the market for a vehicle that gets good fuel economy, you now have a lot more safe choices to choose from than you did just a few short years ago.
I'm Amanda Decker reporting.
To Joplin, Missouri now, where tornado victims will spend the long weekend remembering those they've lost and trying to put the pieces of their lives back together. That tornado was now the single deadliest to touch down in any U.S. community in modern recorded history. The death toll is now 126. State officials are working around the clock to quickly and accurately account for the missing.
I don't know what you say to somebody that was sitting home and having dinner and the sirens go off and they haven't seen their loved one since then, and we're trying to minimize those frustrations.
Meanwhile, an outpouring of support is coming from just about everywhere in the U.S.
I barely have time to answer the phone with the number of people that are reaching out to help us. You know, millions of dollars have already been contributed. Our partners at the Red Cross are doing just an outstanding job.
And when tragedy strikes, the Red Cross is known to never be far behind with a team of volunteers. And since this disaster, dozens more have signed up in Omaha, Nebraska. Megan McRoberts from our Omaha affiliate KPTM has more.
I think it's important to volunteer because there's many people out there who need help, and there's not very many places that will help, and Red Cross is one of them.
It's very typical that when there is a big event like we're seeing in Joplin, like we saw in Alabama, that people will say, you know, I've been thinking about being a volunteer, and boy, now I'm going to do it.
Red Cross welcomed dozens of volunteer trainees to help in times of disaster.
It's exciting being able to help people, so
hopefully
to have the joy, that feeling that you helped somebody.
Even these first-time volunteers know how important their help can be.
Well, we were watching all of the news and everything and seeing how bad it is. Just want to do something to help.
The Red Cross has already sent people to Joplin and are ready to send more.
I think people to understand that no matter what their skill or interest is, that there is a place for them in the Red Cross.
They train volunteers on how to handle anything from cleaning up, working in shelters, or simply how to stay calm. They say there's something for anyone of any age to do.
Help with the shelter or whatever, I guess, whatever we can.
Kind of dig through in the rubble and still find people if you can. Not that we're strong or anything, but we can still try.
Maybe for comfort or knowing that they're not alone and they have help out there.
Red Cross officials say they expect to train a couple hundred volunteers in the next few weeks. Megan McRoberts reporting for INN News.
You can learn more about volunteering for the Red Cross at redcross.org. Helping out tornado victims with the simplest of chores, the Tides of Hope truck has arrived in Joplin, Missouri to give victims a chance to do their laundry for free. 32 washers and dryers can do more than 300 loads a day. This truck has helped victims in disaster areas all over the country, like New Orleans during Katrina. Time for Global News Now. President Obama and the French president meeting at the G8 summit in France. Their talks focused on NATO's continuing campaign in Libya. President Obama is urging patience, saying over time, the bombings will force Muammar Gaddafi from power. Meanwhile, NATO fighter jets carried out more airstrikes on the Libyan capital overnight. Witnesses report at least one airstrike turning the sky over Tripoli orange. No word on if anything was hit. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is in Pakistan trying to repair that country's relationship with the U.S. They've been tense since the killing of Osama bin Laden at a hideout not far from Islamabad. Clinton hopes to soothe hurt feelings following last month's raid that was kept secret even from Pakistan's top army and intelligence officials. Tempers flew and so did eggs at a campaign rally in Peru. Presidential candidate Keiko Fujimori found herself with egg on her leg during a rally. She continued on despite the show of disapproval. Her father served as president for a decade, a term that was marred by corruption scandals and his eventual jail sentence for ordering killings and kidnappings. Think the pile of trash is high at your house? Try getting that garbage off Mount Everest. Fresh snow and unpredictable weather hampered efforts to clean up the tons of trash left behind by climbers on the slopes of Mount Everest in Nepal. Only about 2,500 pounds was collected, far less than the goal of 9,000 pounds. And that's your Global News Now. In your vote 2012, the Republican field for president is getting quite packed. Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney will formally announce his bid next week. The plan is to announce during a visit to New Hampshire while attending an afternoon barbecue. Former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum and Minnesota Representative Michelle Bachmann may also announce their campaigns soon. Next, been waiting a long time for that proposal, why high prices may offer less than engaging prospects for you. Plus, Facebook's owner is on a diet many men may choose to like. More on the Eat and Kill plan. And they're good to eat, but your tax dollars are at work getting this shrimp to use a treadmill. How much this experiment and others are costing you next on INN.
In this box is what I need to control my diabetes, to stay healthy, and get on with my life. It comes from Liberty Medical. And now, it's not only where I get my diabetes testing supplies, but it's where I get my prescription drugs as well. See, if you're on Medicare, the cost of your diabetes testing supplies, as well as your prescription drugs, may be covered. Liberty takes care of all the paperwork with Medicare and sends the prescription forms directly to your doctor for approval. Then on your schedule, packs up this box and sends it right to your door with no charge for shipping.
Liberty assures you have what you need to manage your diabetes, and that starts with a free meter. Call today and get a free meter. Plus, when you join, you'll also get a free cookbook.
Call Liberty. They can help you live a better life.
Call 1-800-503-6627. 1-800-503-6627.
Car owners, does your vehicle have less than 120,000 miles on it? Is it less than 10 years old? Is your current auto warranty about to expire? Well, Cover America Auto Care has a very special offer just for you. With current economic conditions causing bankruptcies and a downturn in new car sales, Cover America Auto Care now offers inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage direct to the public. You can save thousands of dollars on auto repairs. A toll-free line has been made available so car owners can call and get a free no-obligation quote. This auto protection is backed by an A-rated insurance carrier. Plus, you get a claims department that has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. 24-hour emergency roadside assistance is also included. You will be amazed at how much you can save on future car repair bills. So call for your free, no-obligation quote now. Do not wait. Get covered today and rest easy tonight.
Good evening. I'm meteorologist Ed Russo. Still dealing with a severe weather threat across the country, mainly across the East Coast here, all the way from New England southward through the Carolinas and even Florida, seeing some thunderstorms. And look at those severe thunderstorm watch boxes extending from South Carolina all the way up through New England, even some severe weather across Maine, coastal Maine, seeing some rough weather. Not yet, but will be later this evening. We're just starting to see them break out across New York, a little more widespread across the Laurel Highlands of Pennsylvania, but all of these areas, the primary threat will be damaging winds. North Carolina seeing a nice line of showers and storms go through, should be pushing through Raleigh. A nice little Boeing segment there, could be some strong straight line winds with that, and all of this activity will be rushing towards the Outer Banks as we go deep into the evening hours. Across Florida, a lot of this activity tamer than what's going on across the north, but very slow-moving thunderstorms. So the biggest threat with these is the extremely heavy rainfall that we are going to be seeing from those storms. Now, the East Coast does have that severe weather risk today where those severe thunderstorm watches are, but back towards the west across the Central Plains could be seeing some severe thunderstorms breaking out here as well. Large hail, the main threat with those storms, and then tomorrow sort of shifting north where we're going to have that severe weather threat running from Colorado eastward through Illinois. Sort of a small confined area, but this looks to be the place where we could see a few isolated severe thunderstorms tomorrow. Flash flood watches for upstate New York and northern Vermont down through the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia and central North Carolina as well. Could be seeing some very heavy rainfall with a lot of these thunderstorms and some heavier rain falling across northwest Iowa there. Even some embedded thunder to the north, just a general rain from North Dakota into Minnesota. South Dakota also seeing some scattered shower activity. And even looks like a strong thunderstorm now moving through the Springfield area. But I think a lot of this activity should weaken as it moves east. But I expect some activity to pop up once again later this evening, and that could be severe. So strong gusty winds and large hail, a possibility across the Central Plains there. A relatively small area, though. Showers breaking out across Washington and Oregon, and much of Montana seeing some shower activity as well. Snow melt from the mountains across western Montana there, where we've had snow still the past couple of weeks there. So that snow melt combined with the rainfall, that's why we had the flood watches in effect. Also eastern Montana seeing some flood watches. Just persistent cloudiness and persistent rain across that area. It doesn't seem to be going away. But look at that heavy rain across the East Coast there. Several inches possible. And then once again across the Intermountain West, especially as you get towards Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana, where we have those flood watches in place across the area. Cold weather is settling in across the northern tier. Overnight lows will be in the 40s across the north, 46 in Denver, 46 in Seattle, 45 in Fargo. Nice comfortable 64 in New York. That's because you guys are still out ahead of that frontal boundary. And then tomorrow, as that front swings through, look for a dip in temperatures across New England and the northern mid-Atlantic states, and still relatively cool across the north, especially Montana and Idaho. Mike?
It's nearly time for a 3-day weekend, but when it comes to vacation days, it seems many of you aren't taking them. Jenny Wurzberger has that and more in tonight's Back to Business.
For the 7th week in a row, initial jobless claims stayed above 400,000, totaling 424,000 last week. A number around 375,000 is usually consistent with a healthier economy. Guys, listen up. It's wedding season, and that means engagement ring shopping, but it'll cost you more. Diamond prices have risen by 20% over the past year, and gold is higher by 25%. You may need a vacation, but a lot of Americans are throwing away their days off. A new survey from Expedia shows Americans failed to take an average of 4 vacation days last year. In fact, only 38% of those surveyed say they use all of their vacation days. And all Americans gave up 448 million days off in 2010, amounting to billions of dollars worth of time. For Back to Business, I'm Jenny Wurzberger.
Speaking of waste, how your tax dollars are being wasted. A new report has some shocking results. Take a look at this. Researchers figured out how to put shrimp on a treadmill and to get more than $500,000 from the government as well. The grant money went to the National Science Foundation, which also received a ton of money for some other projects. Check this out, a robot folding laundry. Don't get too excited. It cost $1.5 million to create and takes 25 minutes to fold a single towel. The Report also cites Jello wrestling at an NSF project in Antarctica. Report author Senator Tom Coburn says spending is out of control.
We have 12 different agencies doing pure research, and we're duplicating it, and we're not sharing the information across, and it's siloed.
Now, the NSF strongly defends its project, saying they've created jobs. Now, that's true. One NSF project led to the creation of Google. Another led to the invention of barcodes. Still, Coburn says it's time to tighten the belt on frivolous spending. Well, don't have a lot to spend on food? Maybe eating shrimp is out of the question. But Michelle Arnold gets us ready for summer with some healthy, tasty, and affordable sides. That's next in Diet on a Dime.
If you're in debt to the IRS for $10,000 or more, you don't have to take desperate measures to settle your account. All you have to do is put the right people to work for you. And that's as simple as calling this number. You'll speak to a tax expert who can help you negotiate a settlement that's significantly less than the actual amount you owe. Many are former IRS agents who have inside knowledge that you can't get elsewhere. And that can make all the difference in the world.
They saved my business.
I owed $30,000 and paid a fraction of it.
The threatening letter stopped immediately.
I got great advice, and they did all the work.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, you owe it to yourself and your family to call this number and get your case settled for less. Now, you only have a small window of time to settle, so act now.
For a free tax analysis, call 800-903-7750. There is no obligation. Call 800-903-7750 now.
This is what evil looks like up close. It's The Nazis, a warning from history on DVD. The shocking filmed record of a world gone mad. From deep within secret German archives comes footage so unnerving, it still can't be shown on television. If you believe we can learn from the past, this is one collection you absolutely must own. Get it now on 4 DVDs for just $59.99. But wait, call with your credit card and you'll pay only $39.99. It's so important you see this. We'll pay your shipping. That's an additional savings of nearly $7. Look into the face of evil. Try not to blink. Call now to get The Nazis, a warning from history on 4 DVDs for just $39.99. We'll ship it for free.
Call 1-800-214-3086 to order Nazis, a warning from history for $39.99 and receive free shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card or order online at timelife.com/Nazi.
Summer sides: coleslaw, potato salad, watermelon, corn on the cob. We like to fill our plates with a little of each, but it all adds up. In this week's Diet on a Dime, we learn why produce and the main course are almost always a perfect pair. Michelle Arnold has more.
While some eaters enjoy the main course, for others it's all about the sides. And summer offers some delicious ones, but unfortunately, many are full of fat.
Potato salad and macaroni salad, for a half a cup serving, you actually get about 240 calories versus a fresh fruit salad made with mango and strawberries and grapes, banana. Easy to make, about the same cost actually per serving, and you're talking more like 100 calories with 2 to 5 grams of fiber.
An easy standby side, especially for your family, is a big leafy green salad.
Most of your green vegetables are basically free, very low calorie, lots of nutrition, basically no fat and salt, so they're a wonderful choice.
Don't pay extra for the bagged lettuce, and remember to buy what's in season. Tomatoes are a great option this summer, and don't overdo it on the dressing.
So one of your best ones is going to be just simple olive oil and vinegar. Great flavor, no sodium, healthy fats. It's a really good choice. Now, if you don't like that, if you like a little more zing to your salad, there's a lot of choices, and what you should look at is the sodium content and the total fat and calorie content.
Corn is another summer favorite, and we all have a tendency to grab the biggest ear we can find.
Actually, a half of a piece is a serving size of corn, or maybe a small ear.
And this year, think beyond the cob.
Besides just using butter on your corn, you can cut it off the cob and saute it with some olive oil, green chilies, and onion, and you make a really healthy side dish without adding all the butter and salt that we traditionally put on it.
The main idea here Go fresh. When pairing foods with meats, stay in the produce aisle. And don't ruin something healthy by adding unnecessary calories, fat, or sodium. Keep it simple. Do that, and it's a diet on a dime. I'm Michelle Arnold reporting.
Although it's convenient to pick up a pre-made dish at your local deli or grocery store, if you can, make the time to prepare the dish yourself. Chances are you're going to save money, and most importantly, you get to control the ingredients. The less processed, the better. Well, Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg has a new diet plan. The 27-year-old internet billionaire tells Fortune magazine he now only eats meat from animals that he's killed himself. Zuckerberg says he's followed the so-called kill and eat plan since the start of the year, and vegetables have become a staple for him. The new diet is his way of saying thanks to the animals that sacrificed their lives so he can eat. Speaking of animals, that's what you ladies think a lot of guys turn into during bachelor parties. And the guys are back for part 2. This plus another more kid-friendly sequel is new at the theaters. What else is showing? I'll let you know next on INN.
Stay tuned for an exciting money-making opportunity from SMC. Would you like to make more money, set your own hours, and spend more time with your family? Well, now you can with SMC.
I'm an SMC bully. I'm going to tell you what, it's an opportunity for anybody to get in and have a home-based business and be successful.
Mothers around the world should do this, yes, and they can stay home with their kids.
I don't have to be bothered with the hectic day-to-day working for someone else. I'm working for myself.
I just wish now I'd have done this 10 or 15 years ago. It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
SMC supports its members with a huge warehouse stocked with thousands of products that you can sell for profits of up to 300% and more. Call right now to request your free information packet. And remember to ask your operator how you can jumpstart your business with $100 worth of free SMC merchandise.
Just pick up the phone and call this toll-free number now. Remember, you have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Bishop Walter Hawkins made love come alive with timeless gospel classics. Now Love Alive is back and sounding better than ever. Presenting the Love Alive collection. Love Alive 1, Love Alive 2, and Love Alive 3, all for just $24.99. But wait, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card, and we'll cut the price to just $14.99. Then preview other great gospel collections. Satisfaction guaranteed. So don't wait. Get the Love Alive collection. 3 classic CDs for just $14.99.
Call 1-800-443-1356 to order the Love Alive collection on 3 CDs for just $14.99 plus shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card. Call now.
Well, the Memorial Day weekend is one of the biggest at the box office. A host of new flicks expected to draw in as much as $100 million. Ashley Dvorkin tells us what's new in theaters.
He's so strong!
Hold the toast and stall the priest. The guys of The Hangover are back, and this time the bachelor party has moved all the way to Bangkok.
Stu, come on, get up. We got a situation.
Waking up to another morning of cryptic clues and questionable company, Part 2 hopes to up the ante, reuniting the Wolf Pack and proving that, yes, somehow it can happen again.
38-1! Yes! New record!
Speaking of wild animals, the action-packed team of Kung Fu Panda 2 is ready for another round.
Oh, do something!
With Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, and more returning to slice back into the box office action with a 3D sequel, as Po faces off with a scheming villain out to get their land and their kung fu fighting.
Come on, hit me.
Brad Pitt and Sean Penn bring a small film on a limited run with The Tree of Life, following a boy from the 50s into adulthood and the big life questions he asks along the way.
I understand everything. Except that wig.
But can any take the wind out of Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, already boasting a treasure chest of over $400 million worldwide in its first week? This is nonsense. I'm going. The summer blockbuster season has finally arrived as the big releases and big stars all drop anchor at a theater near you.
We know cats have 9 lives, but this dog may just have a few of his own. His amazing tale of survival following a tornado last month. That's next on INN.
It was the hippest trip in America. The music, the styles, and the stars. It was Soul Train. And now, for the first time ever, Time Life presents the Best of Soul Train on 3 DVDs for just $39.99. And if you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card, Time Life will pay your shipping and handling.
What they do?
You'll get 50 guest performances and over 8 hours of the greatest entertainment. You'll get all the great dancing, the cool fashions, the great music, fabulous guest performances, and a priceless set of memories. You'll once again be line dancing to some of the greatest soul music and artists of all time. Now you can own the Best of Soul Train on 3 DVDs for just $39.99. This collection is very special.
As an added bonus, get a free Soul Train ringtone with your order. Call 1-800-716-8618 to order Soul Train and receive free shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card.
Experience Bare Minerals, the foundation that started the makeup revolution. Are you ready for flawless coverage and makeup that is actually good for your skin? Now you can get our new kit for over 75% off what you'd pay at retail. Our exclusive introductory Get Started kit includes the award-winning Bare Minerals Foundation. You'll also receive warmth for a healthy glow, Mineral Veil, the ultimate finishing touch, and Bare Minerals Professional Flawless Application Brush. Call now and receive our new bonus collection worth $57.95 free, including the highly anticipated Flawless Definition Mascara. Purchased separately, you'd spend over $120. Our original Get Started kit was a great deal at 2 payments of $29.99. But for a limited time, you get all this, including the bonus gifts, for only 1 payment of $29.99. You save over $90 and get a 30-day money-back guarantee.
To save over 75%, order now by calling 1-800-200-8130 and ask how you can receive this free handy compact with brush with your order.
It is a remarkable story of survival from last month's devastating tornadoes that ripped through the South. This time, it's not a person. One family in Birmingham lost everything, including their dog, or at least they thought they did. The storm picked up Mason and blew him away. The family search for the terrier mix everywhere, but last week when they returned to assess the damage, the 4-legged animal was waiting for them on the porch. He had 2 broken legs, but he somehow managed to crawl back home.
For an animal to go what he's gone through and not to be ugly, to be, happy for human companionship, it's remarkable, and we're honored to be a part of his recovery.
Wow. Mason underwent surgery last Friday and is now recovering. Afterward, he will be reunited with his family. I'm Mike Mickle. From all of us here at INN, thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great holiday weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.